Is happening, sports fans? It's your main man, Matt, rocking it solo from the DFS 5-pack. It is Saturday, September 25th. We have 9 MLB games to crush tonight. We got Week 3 NFL in motion. Videos coming out today. I know me and DFS Patriot are coming out with our tournament video right after I make this video. So excited about that. Ryan and Brad will do their cash game thing. And in the meantime, we'll crush some MLB. So let's get it. I'll rock this fast and furious, and we will crush it. So let me screen share it, and we'll be on our way. All right, so as far as pitching options go, loaded for a 9-gamer for sure. Corbin Burns looks like the top dog in all formats. Milwaukee's not stressing their pitchers right now, but it doesn't mean they're obviously pulling him early. Matter of fact, he's gone over 100 pitches each of his past 2 games. He's just the top dog in a fine matchup at home against the Mets. Next up, we got Robbie Ray coming off a subpar outing at Tampa. He got hit around a little bit, just didn't have his ace stuff. Ray's making a push for the AL Cy Young, so I think he's firmly in play here. I think Burns is in the better spot. If you can pair both of them, do your thing. In tournaments, I think pivoting off Burns to Ray, for a Toronto team that needs wins, makes sense. Clayton Kershaw, man, was he good at only 75 pitches last time out. Can't expect him to throw too many more tonight, although, I don't know. Threw 74 last time. I expect to see him like 80 to 90. He was perfect last time out, though, pretty much. So tough to trust him here when he's on a limited workload with the other options that are around him. That said, the matchup's good, man. If he's going to be unowned, I get it. I just think I like the other guys better. Next up, Lynn, who is picking up quite a bit of ownership. I'm not sure on this one. The matchup's fine against Cleveland. We saw Cease cut them up last night, but Lynn not throwing a ton lately. Since he got hurt the end of August, he hasn't thrown over 85 pitches, 83 pitches in either of his past 2 starts. I think Lynn's fine here, but I don't think he has the ultimate upside. I think it's close between him and Kershaw. I definitely prefer Burns and Ray. I think they're the clear top 2 dogs. Huascar Ynoa, much better at home, worth noting. Not really looking at Ynoa here against the Padres. In tournaments, I don't hate it because he's going to get no ownership if you want to ride some chalky offenses, but probably not where I go. No on Stammen. Gallen is interesting. I'm always a fan of Gallen. His stuff is legit. He's expensive in this spot, though. So last time he faced the Dodgers, he was 81 in LA. Before that, he actually was 95. That was like a smaller slate, though. So I guess he's priced where he has been. You get no discount for the matchup. Obviously, it's a crazy hard spot, but I don't hate the idea of taking a shot on him at 8,600. No thanks on Gutierrez. He's come down to earth in a big way. Fetty, nah, not for me. No thanks on Eli Morgan. Not where I want to go. Tyler Anderson was awesome last time out against Oakland. In a much better spot here against the Angels. I don't trust him. I hardly ever use Tyler Anderson, but I don't hate him here at 7,500. I'll put it like that. I also don't hate Desclafani. Can't trust him. He's in cores. The Rockies are way better in cores. But I don't hate it. He's throwing a decent. He's throwing, close to 90 pitches per start. He started off that last game against the Rockies in Colorado pretty well. Got hit late. They pulled him early. At 7K, there's real K upside here. So that would be my point about him. Rich Hill. Nah. Not where I want to land, although he's cheap enough where it's not the craziest play in the world. Chris Ellis, no thanks. Let's see what he's done lately. He hasn't been god awful, but no. John Gant, definitely no. Pierce Johnson, not sure why I clicked on him because he's a no. Outside of that spot against the White Sox, Lyles had been really, really good. Certainly not afraid of the Orioles offense. Looks like he is getting love as the cheap pitcher, and I get that. If that's really the case, let me see. Baltimore's also getting love. So it looks like both sides of this are getting love, and it makes sense because Baltimore's probably cheap as well. Next up, John Gray. Also don't hate Gray here. He is just better than 6K. He's better than a 6K pitcher. That's the case for Gray. Obviously, crazy tough spot. I never like picking on San Francisco, especially in cores. But He's just better than a 6K pitcher. Barria, no thanks. He's just not good. Not awful, but not good. Okay, let's talk about some offenses. I mean, ideally, you can build with Burns and Ray. It's going to be difficult, but we'll see if we can get it done. We got Texas and Baltimore. Looks like both these offenses are getting quite a bit of love. And I get it. I mean, they're cheap and really good both in really good spots in Baltimore. Crappy pitchers on the hill. You know, Lyles had that stretch where he was good, but all in all, he's not very good. So both these offenses make sense. Given their ownership, they're both coming in over-owned. So this is probably a game I avoid personally and just hope it doesn't, bust out. But it's scary because it's in Baltimore. These offenses are just shitty though. So I don't even know who my favorite plays would be. I guess Nate Lowe, 4,600. Obviously from the Baltimore side, Cedric Mullins is just a monster. So he'd be my favorite piece of Baltimore along with Mountcastle. But this is one for me. I don't even love pieces. I'd want to stack it. If I was using either side or both sides, I'd want to just stack them up and hope that the opposing pitching staffs are just god awful that day. Next up, we got the Nationals and the Reds. Eric Fetty against Gutierrez. This is an interesting one. I don't think either offense gets a lot of love here, and they're both in pretty good spots. I'm not a huge Fetty fan. Gutierrez, like I said, has come back down to earth in a big way. Yeah, I could see using these offenses. Soto continues to be an absolute monster. When he's not getting extra base hits, he's walking and scoring massive amounts of runs. So he's one of the top overall hitters on the slate. Pretty sure Josh Bell is hot too. Yeah, he's not hot, but he's not cold either. Lane Thomas leading off. He continues to produce for them. I like the Nationals here. They're getting no love. Looks like a bunch of offenses are coming in under-owned with the Rockies and Rangers and Orioles getting too much love, but the Nationals stand out to me as a team that I think is going to go way under-owned here. And the Reds as well. They're priced up a little bit. Votto at 58. It's tough to want to, plant your flag there. But Castellanos, monster game last night. I like him a lot. India always leading off. It's crazy that Castellanos is the cheapest out of India, him and Votto, but it is what it is. Yeah, the stack is firmly played. Man, Alcides Escobar, 4,800. Damn. He's hot, though. I mean, he's been good since he arrived in Washington, so we'll give him credit for that. I guess I'll put it like this for the first two games. Texas and Baltimore, cash games. Washington and Cincinnati, GPPs. Mets and Brewers, Rich Hill against Corbin Burns. I'm not interested at all in the Mets here against Burns. And the Brewers, Hill has been good enough. I think Adames is still way too cheap, so he looks good. Colton Wong, he had a nice game last night. Yeah, I mean, leading off. I don't hate Colton Wong, Adames. Yelich finally got going last night. I guess I don't hate a Milwaukee mini stack. I'm not really on Rich Hill. It's not the sexiest play on the board, but not out of play either. Yeah, if I were making enough lineups, I'd get to some Milwaukee. Twins and Blue Jays. Robbie Ray on the hill against John Gant. Gant's biggest issue is that he walks guys. And when you face a lineup like this, that's asking for trouble. Toronto is definitely in play for me. I always like them when they're coming in under-owned, which is the case tonight. They haven't been that great recently, so it's worth noting. Simeon was the only one to do anything. Vlad is not hot right now, that's for sure. Bichette's not hot either. I like Teoscar a lot last night. He did nothing. Outside of that, though, he's been really good. I like Toronto here. I think people are going to be scared off by these price tags. They're in a good spot against Scant in the Minnesota bullpen, and it might not be tonight, but one of these games are going to go off because it's the Blue Jays, and that's just what they do. As far as the Twins go, I don't hate a Byron Buxton because he's got big times power speed. He's in play in any matchup, and he won't get a lot of love, but I respect Ray enough, and I like him enough here where I'm not looking to stack against him. Braves and Padres. Worth noting that this game starts in the afternoon, so you might have some shadows you're dealing with as a hitter, but also might be much better hitting weather. We got Noah against the San Diego bullpen game. I don't know. Noah's good enough where I don't think I want to stack the Padres here. Other teams I just like more. Of course, if you like, the Tatises and Machados of the world, do your thing. Probably not where I want to plant my flag. And as far as the Braves go, similar. I think I like the Braves a little bit more. Their lineup just looks a little juicier right now. Freeman, Soler, Albies, Duvall. Yeah, Duvall having a monster year. I don't hate the Braves. I would put them in like the Nationals Reds category, but I think I like the Nationals and Reds slightly more. White Sox and Indians. Eli Morgan against Lance Lynn. Not interested in picking on Lance Lynn here. The Indians offense isn't very good. You want to rock a Jose Ramirez, Franmil Reyes combo, do your thing, but not where I'm like prioritizing. The White Sox are certainly in play though. Weren't very good last night, but we know their lineup's good. I know Luis Robert homered. He was the only one that did anything. He's 5K. He's hot right now. Jose Abreu is cheap. Crazy that Abreu is cheaper than Grandal and Robert. Yeah, this stack looks pretty good. I would say that they're coming in about as owned as they should be. Not overowned, not underowned. I don't think I have to pick on Eli Morgan, but certainly not going to shy away from the White Sox if they start getting into my lineups. I'll put it like that. 3 games left, and I think some interesting ones. So we got the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. So I talked about Gallen, but the Dodgers are like the Blue Jays, only better, more consistent. They've got that high upside, though, and they are getting no love. They're very pricey. They're on the same price tier as like San Francisco, and they're obviously not in as good of a spot on paper. That said, I just talked about it. The Dodgers are legit. Their offense is amazing, and at 0 ownership, I'm interested. I'll say this. So, like, if I were making one lineup tonight, tough to want to plant my flag on these guys because I like the expensive pitching. But if I'm making a couple, I think I want to get some Dodgers in my life because they're just not getting any love, and their offense is so good. Yeah, that said, it's really hard to fit them. Like, with liking expensive pitching, you're going to have to use like a Jordan Lyles, which I'm fine with. It's not my ideal build, though, that's for sure. And then the Diamondbacks, no thanks. Not against Kershaw. They're just not good, so no. Giants and Rockies, John Gray against Desclafani. The Rockies are coming in as like the chalkiest team on the slate, and at their prices, I get it. Story's still too cheap, 45. CJ Cron, 36. Blackman, 44. Tapia, presumably leading off at 34. I mean, they're just way too cheap. McMahon, 43. Rogers, 39. I get it. They're getting a lot of love. It does make me like Desclafani a little bit more, though. So if I am dropping down, like, shit. I mean, that's the other way. I think if I were going to do like a Dodger stack, I might do something like this. And obviously it's risky as all hell, but we've seen Coors games be low scoring before. It wouldn't be the first time ever. All that said, excuse me, I get why the Rockies are getting so much love. They're cheap as hell, and they're in Coors against a inconsistent righty. The Giants are getting love, maybe not as much as they should. So I feel better about Desclafani than I do John Gray. The Giants, though, are just a much better offense than the Rockies. That's all it is. Listella leading off, hot right now. Brandon Belt hitting second. Both these guys were cash game recommends and were very good last night. Yastrzemski, he homered. I guess he got removed after that. Lamont Wade, et cetera. They're not cheap, but they're not too expensive either. Chris Bryant, their overall best hitter. The Bryant, Crawford, Belt, Posey, their lineup's good. I mean, it's just good. Crawford with a big game last night. I think on paper, they got to be like the top stack on the board. I don't think it's like a fail-proof spot though, like it was last night against Lambert. Even though they weren't amazing last night, they were scoring runs. Today, they could knock John Gray out real early. Wouldn't be shocking to anyone. They could also struggle a little bit against Gray because he's an actual good pitcher who has pitched well at home before in spots just like this. So in cash games, you want a lot of exposure to this game. In tournaments, I think you can play it however you want. I don't think you have to shy away from it. I don't think you have to force it in. I do like the Giants more than the Rockies, though, just because of their prices. They're harder to get to. Angels and Mariners, last but not least, we've got Jaime Barria and the Angels hosting Tyler Anderson and the Mariners. This looks like kind of just a cross-off game. I don't hate the Mariners. Lost last night, but other than that, they won last night, playing good ball right now. Barria's not good. I could see the Mariners being a kind of a sneaky late-night hammer stack. Last game on the slate by a good hour. They're priced down a little bit from what they had been. So, the Hanover, Seager, JP Crawford combo trio, looks good. Crawford's playing good ball right now. Ty France homered last night. He's playing good ball too. So the Mariners stack kind of, I would say they're right on par with like the Reds and Nationals for me. I don't love them, but I like them quite a bit. And then the Angels, no, I'm not really looking to stack them. I will say though, he walked another 4 times last night. Jesus. I mean, he's got 11 walks over the past 3 games. I'm locking in Ohtani. If I make one lineup tonight, there's no doubt I play Ohtani. He's going yard ×2 one of these games, and I want him on my side when that happens. He's also priced down. He runs. I know he hasn't had the greatest second half, but again, 11 walks over the past 3 games. He's one of, if not my favorite hitter on the slate. So that's how I see it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, short and sweet. We got college football on. I want to get back to. I got to make this GPP video with DFS Patriot. I'm excited about that. Getting on here at about 2:15, so short time from here now. And yeah, let's crush MLB tonight. Let's crush NFL Week 3. If you got any questions, holler at me. Go check out the DFS 5-pack. We'd love to have you join the team. Thanks a lot, guys.